Okay, today we're talking about the 7 AI skills that every single finance analyst is going to need by 2026. And look, this isn't just some far-off prediction. This is about your career, starting right now.
So first up, finance is changing, and it's changing fast. The finance department is one of those places where AI is really hitting the ground running. We're talking about a real immediate impact on how things get done. And honestly, it's happening way faster than most people are ready for.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Is your financial expertise, all that stuff you've learned and mastered, is it actually going to be enough in 2026? Well, the blunt answer is no. Just being a great finance analyst in the traditional sense isn't going to cut it anymore. The game has totally changed.
Think about it. The ground is literally shifting under our feet. All those foundational tasks, reconciliations, reporting, forecasting, the bread and butter of the job, they're being gobbled up by AI systems. We're talking about work that used to take days or even weeks. Now it's being compressed, automated. AI is basically taking over the execution part of the job.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It lays out the 2 paths that are opening up right in front of us. Path number 1, you don't build these skills and you just watch as the routine parts of your job get automated away. But path number 2, that's where you become the person who designs, governs, and interprets these powerful new systems. And the choice between those 2 paths, it all boils down to these 7 skills we're about to cover.
All right, so let's break them down, the 7 AI skills. And here's the best part, okay? You don't need to become a coder. This is all about learning a new way to apply the financial expertise you already have.
Okay, skill number 1, prompt design for financial analysis. This is your starting block. It's the key that unlocks everything else. And here's the thing you have to get right. In finance, a lazy, vague prompt doesn't just get you a lazy answer. No, it gets you a confidently wrong answer, which is way more dangerous. So you have to learn to write prompts like you're writing a super detailed data spec. I'm talking time periods, currency, accounting standards, all the constraints. You've got to be precise.
Next up, number 2, AI-assisted variance analysis. Now, AI is an absolute beast at spotting patterns and spitting out a first draft of the commentary. Seriously, it can turn a 2-day slog into a 2-hour job. But, and this is a big but, the real skill here is your ability to know where the AI's understanding stops and where your human context begins. You have to be the one who knows which variances can be explained by data alone and which ones need someone who actually understands the story behind the numbers.
Skill number 3 is all about scenario modeling, but with AI giving you superpowers. Think about it. AI can build the basic framework for a complex model in, like, seconds. So your job isn't about laying the bricks anymore. It's about being the architect. You're the one providing the critical business logic. You're setting the assumptions. You're designing the strategy that the model is built on.
All right, number 4 is where we see a really interesting shift in mindset. Automated reconciliation oversight. This isn't just about using AI anymore, it's about governing it. Your job becomes designing those all-important human checkpoints. You have to know the system's rules inside and out to make sure that the automated process is not just fast, but also 100% accurate and defensible.
Skill number 5, AI output interrogation. I want you to think of yourself as a detective here. This is your critical thinking layer. Because AI is a master at creating analysis that sounds incredibly plausible, but can be completely, fundamentally wrong. The skill is being the one who can sniff that out. You've got to cross-reference the numbers, poke holes in the logic, and spot those bad assumptions before a major error ends up in front of the board.
Okay, number 6, data storytelling with AI-generated visuals. This is pretty similar. Look, an AI can create a dashboard full of charts in a blink. Easy. But that's not the skill. The professional skill is having editorial judgment. You have to be the editor-in-chief asking, does this chart actually tell the story we need to tell, or is it accidentally misleading? You have to treat everything the AI gives you as a first draft. It's never the final copy.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most senior skill, AI governance in a finance context. This right here is what separates someone who just uses AI from someone who can be trusted to lead with it. It's about knowing how to build an AI workflow that's compliant, that can pass an audit, and that can stand up to intense regulatory scrutiny. This is the big picture stuff.
So there you have it, the 7 skills. But they're not just a random checklist. Let's look at the skill map to see how this all fits together, because there's a really important idea connecting them. Okay, so you can basically group these skills into 2 big buckets. Over on the left, you've got the skills for using AI.
These are your productivity boosters: prompt design, variance analysis, scenario modeling. Then on the right, you have the skills for governing AI. This is all about building trust and making sure the work is solid: reconciliation oversight, AI governance. And right in the middle, spanning both sides, you see output interrogation and data storytelling. That's because you need to be able to use the tools and police the output.
So what's the one golden thread that ties all of these 7 skills together? It's one word: judgment. And listen, this is so important. Judgment isn't a technical skill you can download or learn from a textbook. It's that uniquely human ability to apply business context, to question what you're seeing, and ultimately to take accountability for the answer. The AI doesn't have that. You do.
Okay, that's the big picture. But the question is, how do you actually start climbing this mountain? How do you build these skills in a way that isn't totally overwhelming?
Well, don't think of it as a mountain. Think of it as a 3-step ladder. It's a clear path to mastery. Rung 1, you start here: prompt design and output interrogation. These are the basics you can start practicing literally today for free. Once you've got that down, you move to Rung 2, where you build here: scenario modeling and data storytelling. Now you're creating things that your stakeholders will actually see. And finally, Rung 3, you lead here: reconciliation, oversight, and AI governance. This is where you position yourself to actually run the AI program, not just be a part of it.
So, let's talk about what happens when you climb that ladder. What's at the top? It's your own irreplaceable value. Because let's be clear, learning these skills doesn't make you less of a finance pro. It makes you an infinitely more valuable one.
And this right here is the punchline to this whole explainer. As AI handles more and more of the number crunching, the execution, your human judgment, that ability to bring context, to challenge the results, to own the outcome, that doesn't just stay important. It becomes the single most valuable thing in the room, period.
And that's really the map to the future, isn't it? It's all about combining your years of hard-won expertise with these incredible new tools. It's about proving that the human element is the most critical piece of the puzzle. The future of finance isn't about you versus the machine. It's about you augmented by the machine. It's human plus AI.